All right, folks, and a way to kind of follow up on the Miss Lisa college tuition thing. A lot of people are talking about how, oh, it shouldn't be checking his, wallet or pockets and whatnot. But more to the point, somebody left a comment on my episode review saying Zach is no financial genius. He fell ass backwards into that money, and I'm like, in a way, yes, in terms of the stock information that the what was it, the senator or congressman's wife? I know the name of the woman was Tony. Yeah, I think it was the senator's wife. It was a politician's wife that gave him the inside trade information. However, a lot of people are forgetting that. And look, I don't really blame you if you forgot about Zach doing number crunching because he's actually good at it, but it really isn't demonstrated as much in the series as it used to. Case in point, the way he was able to calculate, I owe Karen $77,000 for everything she's done for me since we were together. And then on top of that, when you look at the way he is able to look at numbers and figure problems out, it's because he's good with numbers. Simple as that. But the thing is, it isn't like, that one stock was a fluke. Yes, he was handed that basically the cheat sheet. However, he's been doing things in off-screen land, but we need to look at a lot of things that happened before, the stock stuff just seemed to be swept under the rug. Now, what was it like the FCC or basically the feds were after him thanks to Hayden and whatnot. But in Zatima, that got squashed. But here's the point. After his first big stock win, I forgot the person's name, but this occurred at the bank. This was after Zach opened up an account with Sabrina's bank, and there was a woman from corporate that came to the bank to speak with Zach, and essentially she schooled him in terms of, well, hey, and I think at this point this was after Zach had gotten a phone call that he was now a millionaire because of his stock. And the person at the bank was telling him like, well, hey, you could, get a chunk of your money now and put it into your bank account. And, you don't have to what's it called? You don't have to keep all of your money in stocks. But my advice would be to take a percentage out of your stock right now and put that in the bank. And then you can keep another chunk of your money within the stocks. Like, you don't have to put all your money on this one stock. You can divvy it up. And here's some helpful paperwork. And Zach was overwhelmed, but she's like, hey, you know what? Here's the physical stuff. Just a pile of paperwork, a folder with other information on other various stocks. And then on top of that, I'll email it to you. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to let me know. And then on top of that, oh yeah, that was the episode where he asked for the check for $72,000 to give to Karen. Yeah, the season 3 mid-season finale. That's it. But then from there, we were introduced to Jake. Yeah, before Bryce, it was Jake. Jake came along and was helping Zach out with some information. Gary offered to help, but remember, that was only in the terms of, well, hey, how about you put in a good word for me by anytime you're around Fatima, just say like, hey, Gary's a real swell guy and whatnot. And then, Fatima would pass that along to Andy to kind of entice her to come back to him, that kind of thing. So from there, Jake was helping him out, not just with how to answer questions and duck and dodge, the IRS or whoever when they came knocking at his door, but also coached him on other things. It's like, hey, you know what? You don't have to worry about putting money in Gary's company if you don't want to, because I work for him, which we know Zach eventually did. But I can, help you out as well on, divvying up your funds, because it's going to look suspicious for you to make your first ever deposit on a stock and you win big. So you need to look at other stock trades and then put money on them as well. So from there, we eventually get to the point where Zach and Bryce, not Jake, but Bryce, go into business for Rise Ventures, and they're buying properties and flipping them, making money from that. And then, of course, even though she is not always paying rent on time, he is making money because Deja's paying rent for the other half of the duplex he bought. So keep in mind that even though we don't always see what's going on, just know that Zach is making a lot of money behind the scenes. And I left a lengthy comment underneath this person's comment on my YouTube video. And I said that Zach is kind of like Michael Jackson. I always think about can I watch this biopic? I think it was the Lifetime biopic. What was Finding Neverland, where the Michael Jackson. This wasn't like, Thriller or, bad or awful. This was Michael after the he was found innocent in court, and it kind of in his final years. When he was just at home with his kids, and then leading up to This Is It. But really, it was more about learning about Michael and what was going on during that time. And the two security guards that like didn't get paid. They were doing an interview in court or something. Lawyers, people who wanted to know about, so what was going on during Michael's, final years, and did that doctor kill him and stuff like that. But basically, they explained that Michael Jackson was not rich. Now, on paper, the name Michael Jackson, is gold. But the fact of the matter is, Michael wasn't sitting on like $50 million in the bank. His name meant a lot, but he didn't have a lot of money just sitting around. His money got tied up in like investments, like the Beatles catalog. Then on top of that, all those paintings and things like that. Even though it looked weird, when he would go to that, what was that Martin Bashir? It's like, yeah, let me get 3 of those. Let me get 2 of those. Can I get that painting? Ooh, yoo-hoo. Can I get that giraffe over there? Those statues and paintings, they were bought to accumulate worth. Like it's like a bottle of wine or something, it ages well. And all those various things he blew money on were technically investments. Like, as the years go on, those things accumulate more value. So I look at Zach in the same way. And it's kind of ironic because DeVal did an interview with Variety or something talking about how Michael was an inspiration. Now, it's not just the dancing and the music, but the business sense that this man had. People overlooked that he was really smart. And I think it's cool to look at Zach in the same way, that Zach indeed has money, but a lot of his money is tied up in investments. The money he put into Rise Ventures with Bryce, the money he has in the stock market, the money he put into Gary's company, and keep in mind that it does seem weird to have him saying, I got to get my money up and I got to get my money back from Gary because of Michael. That actually makes sense when you think about it from that perspective. Zach doesn't have like over $1 million just sitting around in his bank account or in a briefcase. Michael came with a hefty price tag. I understand he was wanting to get full custody, but he didn't truly account for everything that comes with that. Yeah, Andy was his attorney and whatnot, but Andy isn't free. It probably cost a lot of money going to court back and forth with Heather for those 3 months and then gaining full custody again. It ain't cheap. I mean, on top of that, you look at all the accommodations that come with raising a child that's underly developed as Michael, the special needs counselor and going to like the special school. And then on top of that, the nanny they just got. Then, the back to school expenses. Hey, it is back to school time right now. I know people are probably in, Walmart or wherever during tax-free weekend buying school supplies, school clothes. I mean, that's not cheap. And then, now he's going to like regular school, I believe now. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Michael comes with a hefty price tag. Hence why Zach was freaking out when he was looking over his bills. He's like, oh man, because even though Zach has money, Michael, that was a huge chunk of it. Like right now, I can relate. Like, I got this house and whatnot. I got some money, on my savings account checking, and money is gradually coming in. But let's say, and I feel like a lot of us can, be in the same position where you're doing all right financially, got a little nest egg, but say like, oh man, I got a bad car accident and I need to get a new ride, or, oh no, my kid needs to get surgery. Like, they got to get a root canal, or they need braces, or they broke their leg, or, my husband just lost his job and now only one of us is holding down the fort. that mean, you know, those life-changing events, they can take a huge bite out of your money. So that goes back to what I said before. Even though we're not seeing Zach in terms of his financial status, he is doing good. Yeah, you know, like he spent a lot of money when he first got it, buying that house, buying Fatima a car, buying a new wardrobe for himself, buying himself a car. But then again, Zach thankfully didn't just blow his money. He put his money into different ventures, like Rise Ventures, in order to flip it and keep it going. So like I said before, just because Zach isn't shown really doing a lot to earn money, just know that currently his money is making money. So don't dismiss him just because he got that one insider trade situation from Tony. This dude knows what he's doing, and he's been learning along the way. So that's all I'm trying to say in this video. Don't underestimate Zachary Taylor's ability to flip money around. There we go. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.